We're just a few hours away from the global launch of Apex Legends Mobile. It's been a long 2-year journey waiting for this game, but it is almost finally here. And if you're like me, you may just be getting exposed to the Apex universe for the first time, so naturally you may have some questions as to who are the best legends for new players to play. We will only be including those legends featured in the soft launch so far, as well as the new mobile exclusive legend, Fade. Before we get into the beginner's tier list for Apex Mobile, I just want to mention this video is brought to you by TapTap. TapTap is a wonderful alternative app store on Android, as well as a community hub for the latest mobile games. Here on TapTap, you can find some of the latest mobile games available for download long before they reach other app stores such as Google Play. TapTap will have Apex Legends Mobile available for download as soon as it's available, and will have other great features for the game not found on other app stores such as the community hub, creator content, and more. Make sure to check out Apex Legends Mobile's TapTap page via the link in the description and the pinned comment. Now I just want to mention, I'm not a pro player or anything. In fact, I'm a total noob when it comes to Apex Mobile, and that is the perspective we're going to be using for this specific tier list. It's not intended to be a list to say who's the best, but rather who's ideal for us beginner players. Coming into the C tier, we have Wraith and Mirage. Now Wraith is a fan favorite for the aggressive players, but more often than not, I've seen newer and lower ranked players use her incorrectly, which usually leads to them dying more often than carrying a game. Her main ability is a useful tool for engaging or disengaging a fight, but so often it's used incorrectly, and once it's on cooldown, well, Wraith becomes extremely vulnerable. Mirage has a lot of outplay potential with his clones, but I found that lower ranked players don't seem to know how to play around them in order to outplay the enemy. Going up against higher tiered players that know how Mirage works is also something to keep in mind, since most of these more advanced players know exactly how to spot the clones, so it basically makes Mirage's abilities unuseful. Going into the B tier, we have Bangalore and Octane. Now Octane is usually featured much higher on these lists, but there's a simple reason he could be too hard for us newer players. He's quite simply too fast.
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Octane is all about moving quickly through the battlefield with his main ability, which also does damage to himself. It's very easy for a newer player to forget that and waste his health unnecessarily during a fight just so that they can move around quickly. Moving quickly does mean that it'll be harder for the enemies to land their shots, but it could also mean that it's harder for you to land your shots. Bangalore offers great utility with her smoke grenades, but there is a major counter to this ability that really hurts its utility overall, which we'll talk about later on. Her ultimate calls in a heavy artillery, which can be very useful for injuring enemies or forcing them out of a hiding spot in the open areas of the map. This ultimate ability has many counters though, such as simply running away, the countless repositioning abilities from the other legends, or even just hiding in a building. Going into the A tier, we have Caustic, Pathfinder, and Lifeline. Lifeline is a healer. It's pretty simple. She can quickly revive teammates and heal them with her health drone, and she can also call in a care package with items for her team. She's a great support player for beginners. Pathfinder is everyone's favorite sarcastic robot.
I was created for this, I think.
He's equipped with a grappling hook, which lets him reposition to places others may have trouble getting to, and it's also a very useful disengage tool to get him to safety. His ultimate provides a zipline usable by anyone, which is great for covering long distances when running from the gas. Caustic is best described as simply deadly. He puts out these gas canisters that deal area of effect damage when triggered for those that are caught in the gas. He also has a gas grenade as his ultimate ability, which covers the affected area in a blanket of gas. Not only is it hard to see if you get caught in his gas, but you'll take continuous damage until you escape it. He's definitely a deadly pick for those close quarter battles. Finally, we have the S tier legends, Gibby and Bloodhound. Gibby offers a protective dome for himself and teammates that protects them from enemy gunfire, incoming projectiles, etc. This ability is one of, if not the best defensive abilities in the game currently. Bloodhound also has huge utility potential for their team. Bloodhound's main ability is Eye of the Allfather. This gives you vision on nearby enemies, traps, etc. This ability is a necessity on any team because it's just simply too good to not use. This ability directly counters some of the other Legends abilities such as Bangalore smoke grenades like we were talking about earlier. Bloodhound's ultimate ability turns their vision into a monochrome color while enemies are highlighted as a bright red. This makes it much easier to hunt down and see the enemies. And lastly, closing out the list, we have the unknown tier, which is basically including all of the other legends so far that are not yet in the mobile game as of the soft launch. We're also including Fade, the new mobile exclusive legend, because we have yet to see just how good he is against everyone else. But that's going to wrap up this beginner's tier list for Apex Mobile going into day one of the global launch. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below, whether or not you would move some of the legends up a tier or down a tier. Let me know what you guys are thinking. But with all of that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.